Hello and welcome to the Kindred Essence Tarot and to my latest reading, which is on if do aliens watch you? So are aliens watching you, or have aliens watch you? Do aliens watch you? And if so, why? So tune into the four piles that we have here. We've got pile number one, the yellow flashlight pile number two, the blue flashlight pile number three, the orange flashlight pile, and pile number four, the purple flashlight pile. So tune into what pile you resonate the most with for do aliens or are aliens watching you, and if so, why, and whatever else we can pick up. And yeah, so tune into that and let's get started. All right, pile number one, the yellow flashlight pile. Let's see, what do we have for the question? Are aliens watching you? Or whatever else we can pick up from that query. Okay, we've got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the 3 of Wands in, actually I'm going to put this upright. I feel that it's upright, so I'm going to put it upright. We've also got the Judgment card. Fascinating. And then the 2 of Cups. Interesting. So I'm already picking up, it's likely that aliens are watching you, but it's sort of like your bloodline is what I'm hearing. It's something about your bloodline, like your family. So they've been watching your family for a while. I see this because this is like a very here's my cat here. Sometimes she joins me for readings. But it's basically like it's something familiar. So they've been watching, and they like to do this. Like a lot of alien groups or extraterrestrial groups, they like to watch like families and to see like generation to generation, to see like genetic, like sort of to pick up like something about genetics. I'm hearing something about the genetics are very important, and also spiritual gifts, but connected to genetics. And they watch, I hear that they watch, a lot of cases, they watch people very, very young is what I hear. Like they watch people from a very, in your family even, or they pick out certain people from your family line in order to see like who, with the 2 of Cups, who comes together and creates, like how it works out. Like they like to see how the children are from one group to the next, if that makes sense. And sort of like, they like to watch that, and also how it relates to spiritual gifts, how genetics, that's what I'm getting. Interesting that it's like genetics, but how that relates to spirituality, and how it almost, I'm hearing it almost how it affects spiritual psychology. So they're almost like a psychologically intuned extraterrestrial groups that watch you. And yes, there could be some abductions that occur, but I'm hearing it's not, I'm hearing it's less of it's more of a watching, and there may be some abductions, but it's like, it's kind of once they tag you or get some sort of information, they can sort of watch from afar. So I'm not getting the sense of there being like, because some people they have report, abduction experiences like every night or something. I'm hearing that it's more along the lines of watching, getting some information, watching, waiting their time, seeing what happens, seeing who sort of produces, for lack of a better word, with who. Because you have to remember that they exist, a lot of ETs, they exist out of time, and they can see time from a different like perspective, is what I'm hearing. So it's sort of like they can watch, I'm hearing for the 3 of Wands, it's very much they're watching from a different perspective and seeing how people, with a Judgment card, sort of seeing how people level up spiritually, like to see, and I'm seeing that there's sort of a genetic spiritual alien group that sort of like they see like they want to intervene. Like I'm hearing it could either be because there are definitely nefarious ET groups, but it's sort of like it's a mixture of self-centered, because there's different interests, right? There's completely evil and totally selfish. There's innocuous selfishness, and then there's, very enlightened. But I sort of there it's sort of a mixture. I'm doing it sort of like a mixture between sort of selfishness, but sort of a spiritual bent as well. So a sort of a helpful spiritual bent as well. Interesting. So I'm hearing that these ET groups, they sort of they are they have boundaries, if you will, more than ET groups. But sometimes they have certain rules about how they're supposed to interact. But sometimes they step over those because they're excessively curious, and they're very interested in genetics and the genetic lines and how it relates to spiritual psychology and advancement. So, yeah, it seems like not as nefarious as some ET groups I'm sensing, right? It's just, a little bit selfish, but a bit of spirituality intermingled, if that makes any sense. And let's see, what else do we get? I'm going to see if I can get a divination. Shine your light. So I'm hearing that, yeah, there could be positive ET groups too that are watching you, that are, or your family too, because it seems to be intermingled with that as well, to your family line. But and I'm hearing to figure out which side they're more active on, sort of just put each family line and sort of ask, oh, which one lights up, and you'll know. I'm hearing you're intuitive, and you know, because they kind of abduct sometimes, or work with intuitive people, and they're interested in. So I'm hearing this image of a spaceship, and sort of like half on the people are more, it's sort of like a battle even within the spaceship, or within either the spaceship or the race. Like sometimes they have a whole space, like a whole colony on a spaceship, and it's a battle between almost science and spirituality between this race. And I'm not really getting any names, but that's just the sense I'm getting, like that there's a group that within the group that's involved with you that's very spiritually inclined, and then there's a part that's less inclined and more scientific based, but they kind of balance each other out, but they kind of have arguments amongst each other about what they're doing, and is it okay, because I'm seeing there's some ETs that are very interested, and they're watching, that are positive about you shining your light, they want to see you succeed, right? So it's, yeah, there's some definitely positive elements to the group that takes you, or the people. And I'm hearing it's not generally everyone. It's, although I said it before, it was family, right, with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. It's also I'm hearing that it's like they pick their favorites. They kind of watch the line, but they pick their favorites. So I'm hearing you are one of the favorites that they like to watch, amongst some other people that you may have a sense about who that is in your family lineages, aunt, cousins, uncles. Like you'll know who that is. I'm hearing. I guess just say, write out names or family lines, and you'll just know. It will light up too. You'll know. That's an intuitive exercise you can use to figure things out. I heard. And it's sort of like journey. I'm hearing that they journey around in time a lot, and they've watched so much. And then it's interesting, I'm hearing them almost say that they watch death from a different perspective, because they see people going on a journey going into different family lines and reincarnating sometimes in the same family line. So they watch death from a different, because they don't die as quickly as we do, right? They like so they have a more expansive perspective. So it's like they almost want to give you an expansive perspective. They almost want to give you the expansive perspective that you have. I'm hearing. They want, yeah, message. I just pulled the message. Well, that's fascinating. Yeah. So it's sort of like they want to give you that message that they've watched your journey, and they've watched you die about 7 times, even more. I'm hearing. Yeah, they've watched you die. So it's like they watch you on your journey, and they can see it from a different perspective. And I'm hearing them say they're amazed that humans don't have the perspective that they have or other alien groups have, but they kind of understand it too because we're so mirrored into this reality. But they're amazed that we don't have the perspective, and they'd like to sort of imbue that perspective in our our consciousness, so we can almost feel better. Like they're interested in us sort of feeling better because they know, because the ones that are more intuitive amongst them, the not science oriented ones, they understand emotionally that it's not always easy to be human. And you may have, I'm hearing, sometimes they reincarnate. The people who watch, they're more of a watchers, but I say sometimes a couple of them, they decide to reincarnate in here, but it's traumatic for them. So I'm hearing you may have been a part of them way back, and they're watching you from that point. But I'm hearing you've really gotten down and dirty into human life in a lot of ways that they don't have the courage to do. Because they almost watch you with admirance, because it's easier to be up there watching the human life instead of coming down into this realm. So it's like they want to say that they admire you for doing that. They really do admire you for that. So that's interesting. They want to say that they admire you for reincarnating in such a dense realm. They want to imbue the perspective. They want to imbue the perspective that they have, right? Because they know that it can be a painful experience being on planet Earth. So they hope that they've done a good job of imbuing that perspective. But that was pile number one. And now it's time to go to pile number two. Hello, pile number two. We've got the blue flashlight pile. Let's see. So, do aliens watch you? And if so, why? So we'll go into that, and whatever comes up, and relating to that question, some more stuff may come up too. But let's see what comes up. So the blue flashlight pile. Ooh, this is burnt out. Gotta get more batteries for this flashlight. But pile number two, the blue flashlight pile. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, Ace of Pentacles, transition, the Strength, and the Three of Wands. So I'm hearing that I'm hearing that you've had encounters with ET races that are not so good. I'm hearing, because it's just like they're sort of, I'm hearing there's some like sort of nasty ET beings, but I'm hearing that what I'm hearing is that when I see the Ace of Pentacles, I hear help, but you have help from higher beings to deal with. And I'm hearing that this is something that happens on many 3D planets, or the kind of situations that we have on Earth is not new, and it's sort of like harassing. I'm hearing, like they're harassing ET beings that have like sort of like I see this image of the Strength, and it's a negative. They don't care about these negative ET groups that have been I'm hearing that some other piles may apply to you as well, though. But this is like tuning into the energy of sort of so you've had experiences. I'm hearing you may have had a positive experiences, ET experience as well, but they just, for this pile, they wanted to focus on, yes, you've had some negative experiences with some ETs that don't, I'm hearing it could be the gray, or even something more nefarious, like almost government groups, like really intermingled, like disturbed government aliens. I'm hearing it's interesting that I'm hearing that, but it's sort of like they have really lost their way, and they've lost their way, and because of that, this is what I'm hearing, they kind of mess up. They go and so I'm hearing you may have trouble sleeping sometimes because of that. But I'm hearing that don't worry, these groups you could ask for protection if you, but you have to have, I'm hearing it is very much about boundaries. And I'm hearing whenever these negative groups find, and I hear this is a very common thing I'm hearing. And it's like it happens like they sort of these negative groups, they lost their way, they haven't transitioned up to a higher dimensional timeline as they should. I'm hearing that's what I'm hearing. They haven't transitioned, they haven't moved forward, and because of that, okay, what I'm hearing is they get this idea that science is the only way, and they almost get obsessed with humans. I see them as being that person right there, and this person is being the humans that they kind of mess with, and they become so like obsessive with almost controlling these beings and messing with them, like, and getting information. I'm hearing getting information. So I hear this. Okay, I'm hearing this image of, yeah, they want to control humans in order to like get, like, I keep on getting these pretty disturbing images of blood being drawn from you over and over again, and almost you may have a phobia of needles. I'm hearing, or medical procedures or something, or blood, because I'm hearing that like there may have been some disturbing things that have happened with these ET groups, like, you know, in an abduction experiences, like, just I keep on yeah, it's very disturbing. I keep on seeing a vial of blood. I keep on hearing the vial of blood is important. So it may be, okay, so it's sort of like the information that they want to have is in the blood, so they take lots of, so at a trigger, maybe I should put a trigger warning for group 2, but it's sort of like, yeah, maybe I should have put a trigger warning, but it's, if, I don't know, people get, oh, maybe I'll put that in the title or something, but it's sort of like, it's sort of like, yeah, I keep on just seeing this vial of blood, and you may have a phobia. So I'm hearing, don't feel ashamed of your weird, not weird, they're not weird. I'm saying they're not weird. You have phobias, and I hear lots of people, other people, I hear don't feel alone. Lots of other people have had these less than stellar experiences as well. There's many people, because you may feel alone with having these experiences, but I hear do not feel alone. But yeah, it just keeps on playing in my head. Like, I just see this thing of blood, and it's sort of like, yeah, like they're obsessed with like figuring what's out in the blood in order to figure, or just different things like that. And you may feel, I'm hearing you may like pay attention to the feeling. You may feel this shooting pain too sometimes, and that's actually a remnant to having needles put in you and stuff. And so you may have trouble with your almost feeling unsafe in your own body because of these experiences. And I'm hearing that you can, to deal with these experiences, I hear they're mostly gone in some cases, but there's still a little bit of them left, but they're kind of, they're not allowed to do this much anymore. But I'm hearing that you can actually call on higher, like I hear, be very strong intention, going to a meditative state, and before you go to sleep every night, call on the protection of higher beings there's actually beings, ET beings, good ET beings that are meant to watch. Oh, my cat is running around, she's got the zoomies, but that can monitor these less than stellar beings, and you can basically, yeah, call on these beings, because I'm hearing that, like, people always say, oh, cover yourself with a bubble of light, cover yourself with some boundaries, and I'm saying that's good too, that's good as well, but I'm hearing it may give you a sense of safety, and I hear it, you'd be very comfortable for the word no. And before you go to sleep, this may give you a sense of power just to say, no, I do not consent to any kind of experiences that are less than my highest good, or whatever. That's something that to me sounds good. But you may want to come up with your own affirmation. But I'm hearing also, but you can call on specifically, you could on the angelic realm, but I'm hearing that to call on ET beings that are in a higher hierarchy, because there's ET beings that go around that are yeah, that's a confirmation. Isn't my cat just threw the ball in here? She wants to. I'm gonna throw it for her. All right, go get the ball. But so yeah, that's confirmation. But it's sort of like, because sometimes she'll my cat will enter the conversation at she's bringing back the ball. But it's sort of like she'll enter the my pick a card readings at certain times, so I pay attention when she does that. But it's sort of like, yeah, like call on sort of higher dimensional beings, ET or higher dimensional beings that are beyond the group. I'm always seeing that they're almost myopic, like this group they've targeted you, or they have in the past, and they've targeted other people as well. But it's sort of like, and then people start to catch on. They kind of know, like they get a feeling, right? It's just almost an intuitive. Like when they wake up, like, oh, something what happened last night that wasn't quite right, and it's sort of like I'm hearing that you can. It's not. They're not supposed to do what they're doing. These particular ET groups, but they're very myopically. I keep focused. I'm hearing, and they're focused. They don't know what they're doing at some level, I'm hearing, but they really want to get what their driving force is. I'm hearing these particular forces, they've almost forgotten their driving force, which is to get their soul back. That was the origin. But okay, this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing in the process of trying to get their soul back, they've acted in ways that have like lost their soul even more. So they really lost themselves, these beings. And it's sort of like, I'm hearing they almost become psychotic and psychotically almost trying to figure things out, or psychotic on getting blood. I keep on getting blood. Like it's sort of like they just want to figure things out. So I'm hearing you may have the remnants of the pain of, I don't want to be, well, of the needles going in and out and deriving something from you. Like that you may feel the residual pain of them sort of taking the fluids or that kind of stuff. But it's not, it's sort of like they basically, yeah, that they dominate people. I'm hearing they dominate people, and it's not I'm hearing it's not a good thing, but your soul can also learn something from it as well, and learning about boundaries and the sense of power. So I'm hearing that step into your own power, but do not be afraid to ask for help from higher dimensional beings. I'm hearing do not be afraid to ask, particularly ET beings that are beyond these beings. They've got technology beyond them, and just set that strong intention, and you will connect to these beings, because you do not have to have these kind of experiences anymore. I'm hearing you do not have to, and they have abated. I'm hearing like they've abated for a lot of humanity, but I'm hearing that you have a right to your peaceful sleep, and you have a right to only have the highest, best beings in your space, is what I'm hearing. You have the right to only have the best beings in your space, is what I'm hearing. And then we've got, so yeah, that's what we've got for pile 2. So I'm hearing, and okay, I'm also hearing something else too. I'm also hearing, ask for the angelic realm to help heal the emotional and spiritual trauma from these experiences, because I'm hearing it could have imbued, like it could have imbued like a sense of trauma in you, and I'm hearing that you want to heal this trauma and ask for angelic support. So I'm asking I'm hearing ask for the healing process, ask for angelic support, and for future protections, or to feel future protected, call on ET beings that are more powerful, that are meant to monitor, because I'm hearing this is a problem. It happens on other planets too, like ours. They kind of they do these kind of things. So there's actually ET groups that are designed to monitor them. So you can call on those ET groups to monitor them. So they're not interfering in your life anymore. They're not interfering in your sleep anymore. They're not interfering in any aspect in your life. So ask on these beings. You'll feel a sense of relief, and ask for the angelic realm for healing. So that's all. It felt like a heavy pile for pile number 2, but that's what I get. And I hope that has helped you. And now it's time for pile number 3. Hello, pile number 3, the orange flashlight pile. Let us see what we have for are aliens watching you? And if so, why? So we're just going to see what we get up for that, what we get for that, right, that intuitive prompt. Okay, so we've got the 7 of Cups, the 3 of Swords, and the materialism. Oh, fascinating. I just got 3 cards for this pile. Let's see what I can get here. So the 3 of Swords is, okay, let's see what I can, okay, I think I get what this is. Okay. I was sort of getting, is it you that's trapped or the aliens? And interesting, I'm getting that the aliens are the ones that are trapped, and they've been sort of, you're one of the people that they have been using to, like, they've gone through some trauma. So it's sort of like they're not, I'm getting, no, in not most cases they're not bad, but these aliens are trapped. They've gone through a lot of trauma, and they've kind of, they're trying to repair themselves, and you're somehow part of the genetic repair process. Interesting. So I'm hearing that on a soul level, so I'm getting that although it's a selfish, in a sense, ET group, it's not a bad ET group. It's sort of like, it's somebody they want to, with the orange flashlight, it's sort of like they want to restore their childlike essence and lineage, is what I'm hearing. So they're kind of choosing, they're kind of, I see them with the 7 of Cups, they're going through all these sort of like choices. What do we do? What do we do? And they went to Earth, but sort of they're kind of like, they're not a bad group, so they like to do things in they try to, I'm hearing that there may be some trauma with it, but like, because they tend to take people during sleep and whatnot, but it's sort of like they don't mean any harm whatsoever, but they're sort of like, your soul may have agreed to help them genetically. So I'm hearing that you may have some hybrid babies. What I'm hearing is, yeah, so they may have taken your genetics to clone and create beings. So you may have this sense that you have like five, it's gonna sound crazy, you may have this sense, you don't know why, you may have this sense like, I have 500 children and I don't know why I feel that way, but I have 500 children. I'm hearing that yeah, like, you may have this sense, I don't know why 500 came to mind, if that's the actual number or just the feeling that you have, but I just kept on hearing 500. In some cases I'm hearing, yeah, it is, it's like they've used your genetics, and they use human genetics, but I'm hearing they're not, in most cases they're not bad, I was about to say bad people, bad aliens, but they've gone through like a lot of, I'm hearing they've gone through a lot of bad things, and I need to restore, and I'm hearing some of it is their fault, if you will. Some of them it is not. Some of it, or not fault, I don't want to use the word fault, but some of it is their responsibility. Some of it is not. But so yeah, I keep on getting like you're the one that they use. They create hybrid babies, but I'm hearing they don't treat them badly. Like they're a conscious. So I'm hearing they're much more conscious. Like I did another pile where that was not. They're very unconscious beings that were intervening with humanity. But I'm hearing that, yeah, they do it for selfish reasons, but it's not the same energy as of another pile I did that was, really kind of a little darker, or a lot darker. But this is sort of like they almost try and teach you things on they take you, or they've taken you, but they use you, but it's not, they try and they try and give something back. I'm hearing that when they do that, they're not just like, there was another group I picked up, they were just completely unspiritual and just invasive. But I'm hearing they're not, although this is for quote unquote unselfish reasons, they try and give something. It's sort of like an exchange. They try and they take your almost your ovum or other stuff like that, but they give something back. They make sure to give something back, and because they're kind of a more spirit, they're kind of a spiritual ET group that has gotten themselves into a bind, and they're really trying to and humans were the like using human genetics was sort of like the way to like strengthen and put their race on a better trajectory is what I'm hearing. But it's almost like you can almost think of them as friends. I'm hearing like they try, and it's almost like they try and they when they take humans, it's almost like they try and there's a little bit of guilt behind it because they've got a lot of human sensibility, so they try and make it as non-traumatizing as possible. Like, you know, generally these kind of things happen during sleep and everything. They try and make it as like they know, I'm hearing they know about the sleep cycle, so they try and take the people that they take at the right sleep state. I'm hearing the right sleep state, and I'm hearing they may have even worked on your health. They may have like corrected some sort of I'm hearing either some genetic abnormalities or even illnesses that you may have not known that you've had. They may have, as an exchange, like worked on illnesses that may have that may have developed if you didn't. They sort of worked on those kind of things as well too, and like as an exchange, almost like as an exchange for like taking your, I keep on saying ovum, or yeah, taking you know, genetic material, right? Like just taking and then they just sort of like, they always make sure to, I'm almost seeing like I'm brought to the rainbow. They almost try and make it a good experience almost, and like, oh, like you may have sort of these weird recollections of almost mystical experiences, but sort of being, and like they try and make it almost fun, and so you may have these bizarre like sort of almost screen memories, or sort of like these bizarre images of being in a rainbow like state with like colorful pictures. Like they try and do things like that, and they try and impart information, like, and then they kind of do it like sort of like that. I keep on hearing a sleep state. They're you know, they're in tune. I'm hearing lots of aliens know about, you know, the REM sleep state, right? Because they take people at the right sort of time, and they try and take people at the right time so they don't wake up. So they monitor, okay, that they're dipping below this sleep state, so they take people. But when they take you, they sort of take you into a different, or other people that they focus on, into another realm. So it's sort of like you have these bizarre, okay, what I'm hearing is attachments to dreams, and you're like, was that a dream or not? It's almost like, because they're taking you almost in the dream cycle, or close to the dream cycle. It's like you have these extensions on your dreams, and you're like, are those actually part of, so I'm hearing, yeah, if you have, it's almost like a bump or a blister or something on a dream, and you'll be like, oh, was that part of the dream, or did that happen? So I'm hearing, do not think that you're crazy if you have these experiences. Do not think that you're crazy. Yeah, I keep on hearing it's an attachment to a dream, and I'm hearing to know if this experiences are a dream or not. It will feel more solid, and your sort of your intuition will know what that means, but it will feel more like experience. Yeah, it sort of intermingles in a dreamlike state, but you'll feel like, okay, you'll feel like, oh, it's more solid, this experience. This actually happened in a realm and not just the dream realm. But I'm hearing even the dream realm things, I mean, the dream realm could actually be considered a real realm in a sense, but it's sort of like it took you in a yeah, and then it's an extension, and then I keep on getting, they feel a little bit of guilty because they know they don't want to traumatize anybody. I hear they really don't want to traumatize. So it's sort of like you have these extensions to your dreams of being in this place, almost like a nursery, almost with these bright colors, because they try and create that kind of they try and create sort of an environment that's endearing, an environment that's like sort of, and I'm hearing they don't always get the sensibility right. So it's it kind of comes across like when you wake up, you're like, it feels creepy almost to you, but they're not trying to make it. Yeah, in some cases you may feel like it feels really creepy, but I'm hearing it's almost like they try and make it so like create a loving environment that it just becomes weird, and it almost seems like I'm hearing a creepy clown. But it's not meant to be like, the creepy clown in the movie It, who tries to be all positive. It pretends to be good, but it's not. But I'm hearing it almost feels like the energy, except it's not that way. They actually are good. But it's sort of like you feel that it feels really creepy and weird, because it's like an extension to your dream that isn't part of your dream. And you kind of know that, but it's hard to sort of put into words, if you will. So that's, yeah, interesting. So I'm hearing just watch that and know that you are safe. I hear Colin, like when you go to sleep, say that only the highest and best, or only what I allow is allowed in my state. So I'm hearing making a conscious decision about what you want is whatever. I mean, you may or may not want this to continue, but I'm hearing you have the choice to have it continue or not, is what I'm hearing. You have the choice to have it continue or not, and I'm hearing. But they would like it if it continued, but they would respect your boundaries if you did not want to have that happen. They have those kind of experiences happen, because they're about respecting people's boundaries. Interesting. But interesting. So that's what we get for pile number 3. So yeah, I'm hearing you're allowed to set your own boundaries, and you're allowed to. So whether you have and I'm hearing sometimes you may have because sometimes you may have drawn to other piles as well. But even if you're just drawn to this pile or to other piles, know that you have a right to have your boundaries, whatever ET experience, whether it's positive, negative, something in between, you have the right to decide what that is. Interesting. So pile number 4, that was pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed that. Now it's time for pile number 4. Hello, pile number 4. 4 of Pentacles. Interesting, my cat is chattering now at some birds outside. 4 of Pentacles and 6 of Cups. Interesting. 9 of Swords. Oh, interesting. And King of Pentacles. And King of Wands. 2 kings. Fascinating. So I'm getting that the ET groups, they have, like, I'm getting that it's very much something from, I'm hearing it could be I'm hearing there's different things. I'm hearing there's probably about 3 different groups that is interested in you. And it could be other piles as well too, because I've done other piles. But it's sort of, that's the energy. And one could be a sort of a government offshoot program. It could be, that's kind of what I picked up, a government offshoot program who kind of uses you for different. So I'm getting, there's a lot of activity for this, and I'm getting that for this pile, it kind of runs the gamut from very high spiritual beings with the purple flashlight that are connected with you, to sort of lesser, kind of more, not, I don't want to use the word lesser, but sort of not as good. Like, not as good, but then I'm hearing very high-minded spiritual beings. And I'm hearing sometimes you feel abandoned by the higher spiritual beings because you've had all these experiences, right? And I'm hearing it since childhood. I'm hearing since childhood, maybe 4, 5, 6, even earlier. It's sort of like but you may feel as if other people feel that you're their property. Interesting. So you may have a feeling of anger at other people feeling that you're their property, or that you're I'm hearing there may be a sense of being a non-person, which obviously isn't the case, but it's like, emotionally not a good feeling, like a feeling of almost being a non almost being a non-person is what I'm hearing. But so I'm hearing you need to clear the energy because it may be confusing for this because sometimes people they will have experience with different groups. So I'm getting a lot of sense of this. It's like there may be different groups, like that have intervened with you. So it's sort of like you feel that, you feel that, you feel that, you feel that almost like that all these groups want to take a piece of you. That's what I see with the Four of Pentacles. Interesting. They all want to, and some are not. They don't even see you as a person. That's what you feel like. You feel this, and it's interesting because you've got the Six of Cups, and then it's sort of like going through this journey towards, you know, that's almost a childlike past card, Six of Cups, and then we've got King of Pentacles and King of Wands. So it's sort of like I'm sensing that sometimes they've taken you off planet for a long time. I'm hearing and sort of, oh, my cat is over here just staring at me. You're such a sweet cat, aren't you, Emma? But it's sort of like you sort of there's a sense of being sort of like being taken for a long time. Like they may have taken you and then taking some part of your essence for a long time. I'm hearing now. That's what I'm seeing with this. That's what the sense that I get from this card, the Nine of Swords. Like a really long time, like a long journey, and you. So it's almost like you feel like you're an old man trapped in a young person's body, and you felt that way for a long time. That sense of just, because it's sort of like they've taken you to different sort of different places, different like avenues in the galaxy. Something to do with like almost time warping or something like that, and they take you for a long, because a lot of times they'll take someone for one night or one sort of sleep cycle, right, and then they'll return them. But I'm hearing them as they can through time, they can take you for a long time. Like, yeah, that's what I get, through time, a long time. And it's sort of like you feel that there's this love for you far away. And I'm hearing, interesting, and that's what I got. There's love for you far away, but I'm hearing that you can have that so there's an experiences that you've had where they've taken you away for a long time, or you've been away for a long time. That's the best way I can describe it. You could actually put the intention to find people on this planet now that connect what you're having to say. And you can even find people, connections that you've had off-world, you can have on this world in the form of alien other people that have had the same experience. So that's what I'm getting. That it's important for you to find, because there can be I'm hearing that there can be a sense of loneliness in having these kind of experiences. I'm hearing you don't have to feel lonely though, because you can find there's a lot of people who have had these kind of experiences, and I hear that it's very positive for you to find love in various forms here that is actually reminiscent or similar to what you've had in these off-world locations. And there are people here that have had these experiences, or even the same people that were on these off-worlds. And I hear to attract these kind of people, create a beacon, or this is what I'm hearing, create an intention, create a beacon, and create a tone. Because I'm hearing that once you create a beacon and a tone, you can attract people who are on your wavelength, who are basically my cat is in this corner right here. She's just staring at me. Sometimes she just stares at me just to kind of, I don't know, mess with me. Sometimes she just likes to mess with me, I think. But yeah, like it's sort of like define. So I'm hearing that's the important thing, is to find people, because I'm hearing you've had a myriad of experiences. I'm hearing that some of the other pilots may apply to you as well. If that's the case, you'll know, and you can, and maybe it isn't, maybe it is. But I'm hearing that the most important thing is to not be afraid to go within yourself, but also to go on a journey to find people that are basically, yeah, really fascinating. And I pulled 6 of swords too, 6 of swords and 8 of cups, which are both about journey. So it's about movement, and it is also bringing to light the whole idea that you've gone through all these journeys that are in sort of off-world and other locations that are sort of that are related to here. And I'm hearing you may not feel that they're related to what's happening onto this planet and this planet or in this timeline, but they are. And you can find people. It will it's very. It will be very comforting if you can find people. If you can journey to people that have had these experiences. And I hear that you've gone on a journey within yourself that's about to come for full circle. Where we've got the movement, the 6 of swords, the 8 of cups. Both, you see, both a journey, both moving in the same direction. And it's like you're almost like you're on a journey where you're finally ready to make sense of these experiences and start another journey that is feels more positive. I hear, with more positive people, like just like these positive people in your life is what I'm hearing. Like you could almost find these people by going within, and then it's like starting a new journey, a new spiritual journey with people that truly understand you, I hear. And let's see, what else can we get right here? Laugh at your demons. I hear that you can feel a little bit, laugh at your demons and shine your light. So I'm hearing that those kind of things, that those 2 cards go together, because you may feel very different or feel very like just almost disturbed sometimes by the experiences you've had. It's sort of like it's sort of like by facing your demons, you can release them and know that the darkness and the sort of like you almost feel disbanded because you've had the experience and you feel like there's pieces of you everywhere is what I'm hearing. But I'm hearing, okay, so it's important to collect the pieces of you, or feel that you collect the pieces of you. And it's sort of like it's like you collect the pieces of you, you feel the pieces of you, and it's sort of like you'll feel more whole. And it's about the journey, it's about journey, something about, and I hear your soul will know what that means, completing the journey by taking all the pieces of you back, completing the journey by taking all the pieces of you back, and creating a beacon that attracts people on this earth plane that understand what you've gone through. And they may not even, again, I'm hearing too, the people that you attract, they may not know consciously that they've had this experience, but you'll know at a soul level. And some will know consciously, but some won't. And you'll feel this sense of connection at the soul level, which will feel very gratifying and soul completing. So I'm hearing it's also about completing, like it's about going on the journey. You feel like you've journeyed so much and you almost want a sense of completion and understanding to the journey. And I'm hearing that you need to know that your soul knows everything that you've experienced, even though your conscious mind can be confused. Your soul knows what you've gone through. And I'm hearing that you may want to know everything, but I'm hearing be satisfied with getting small chunks of it, and you will be able to put it together eventually. But I hear that, yeah, you're going on a new journey that's more together, where you've called in the pieces to yourself, and you've put it all together, is what I'm hearing. You're finally feeling that you're putting it all together, and that's a very gratifying. And people, I'm hearing, finding the same time of people, very important. And you can do that. Send the beacon, send the energy, and you will attract them quickly. All right. So that's all we've got for pile number 4. I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe check out, if you feel to, check out the other piles to see if there's another message for you. There may or may not be. But anyways, have a good day. Bye-bye.